All right, hello everybody. Thank you for joining. I am Riley with the T Storm Chasers, and we're going to take a look at your forecast. But before we do, here's a brief word from our sponsors at Cube Portable Storage.
What are you doing?
Decluttering?
Moving? Remodeling? In need of temporary storage, emergency cleanup, or just need to declutter? Cube Portable Storage has the perfect solution. Rent your Cube Portable Storage container today.
And don't forget, they got roll-off dumpsters for the other stuff. Call Cube Storage for all your moving needs.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Riley here with the T Storm Chasers, back here for another weather video. Let's dive into it here. So, take a look at the current temperatures. It is another very nice, pleasant day out there. Mid upper 70s in our region, 75 right now in Sioux Falls, 75 as well in Mitchell, 73 in Chamberlain. Taking a look into northeastern South Dakota, we got 73 in Aberdeen, 72 in Mulbridge, 73 in Sisseton. And then in Minnesota, 60s and 70s, 66 in St. Cloud, 70 in Wilmer, 72 in the cities, 72 in Marshall. Then down into Iowa, we got a few 60s, otherwise we got 70s, 79 in Fort Dodge, 79 as well in Spencer and Des Moines. 79 in Davenport, and then into Nebraska, 60s and 70s as well, 75 in Columbus, 63 in North Platte, and 70 in Chadron. And then in western South Dakota, we got 60s in the Black Hills region, 64 in Spearfish, otherwise we got 57 in Custer. That's probably the coolest spot on the map this evening. 70 in Rapid City and 72 in Pierre. So just a beautiful day out there. Little to no wind at all. It's sunny. Little to no humidity. Hardly any clouds. Please get out and enjoy this weather. It is absolutely beautiful out. Now, I will say there is an exception to this. Down here in northeast Nebraska and western Iowa, there actually, believe it or not, is some garden variety showers here. Broken Bow over towards Creighton, Nebraska, towards Sioux City, and then over into Ida Grove, Storm Lake, Fort Dodge, near Iowa Falls. You see there's a band of scattered rain. So that is actually moving in a westerly direction. So it's actually moving west, believe it or not, there. So that is the latest there on that. So but that is your exception there. Otherwise, the rest of the region is perfectly nice out. So that is the latest there on your current conditions. So what's next in this forecast? Well, we got a lot to talk about in terms of temperatures as well as any kind of moisture chances. We'll get to all that and more. But first, let's hear a brief word from our sponsors at CE Construction.
From roofing to siding, CE Construction is setting the standard across North and South Dakota. Our expert team delivers quality, durability, and trust on every project. CE Construction, Dakotans helping Dakotans with their roofing and siding needs. Call or visit us online.
All right, so first let's take a look at our future temp forecast here. And running this out again today with very nice weather. Overnight lows tonight in the 40s and 50s, and then for your day tomorrow, much of the same here. We got 70s in the forecast, 60s across Minnesota, Iowa, but 70s for the rest of us here, mid-70s again in Sioux Falls. It's going to be a very nice day tomorrow. And then for your day on Friday, even better. We're talking low to mid-80s across our region here, otherwise 70s across the rest of our region. Now, the Black Hills region will be a little bit cooler. Near, there could be a couple of 40, upper 40 degree temps. Otherwise, the rest of the region, how about Pierre? 85 in Pierre on Friday, potentially there. And then for your weekend forecast, in terms of temps again, 70s and 80s once again, even warmer out there. Looks like mid to upper 80s in central South Dakota there, mid 80s in the Sioux Falls area. And then to finish out your weekend, even warmer temps out west. Look at that. Low 90s in the forecast there for the Rapid City area and western South Dakota. Near 80 in Sioux Falls there. That's a very warm forecast there. That is more summer-like weather for sure. So that is on the table for sure this weekend, and then into next week as well. Mid to upper 80s there. Taking a peek at next week, upper 70s to low 80s in the east, upper 80s in the west. And then on Tuesday of next week, 70s and 80s again. It's kind of the theme of this forecast, if you will. 70s and 80s in this forecast is pretty much the theme here. And just, warm, dry, not seeing much moisture. Even next Wednesday, this is taking us out a week out from today. Mid-80s in the Sioux Falls area in eastern South Dakota, and low 90s perhaps near Marshall, Minnesota, also near Spencer. So looking at that. Now this right here looks like there could be a system middle of next week, so that's certainly on the table as well. We'll get to that here in a minute. But it does look like in this extended forecast, again, just for the next week at least, we're talking temps in the 70s and 80s, even a few 90s across our region. So that is what we're looking at here for temps. So get used to this nice weather, get used to the warmer temps, because it is here and here to stay. So that is the latest there. Now we'll jump to your future scan forecast to give you guys the radar picture for the next week. All right, and take a look at your future scan forecast here. Again, there's those rain showers south of Sioux Falls there, eastern Nebraska into western Iowa. And that'll clear out tonight, and then for your day tomorrow, clearing on out again, not seeing anything. Then as we get towards Friday, once again, not seeing anything. As we continue out this forecast here, European model, let's look at that here and see what European has to say here. Saturday, again, not seeing anything here. Maybe stuff up in North Dakota that is quite a ways away from us. And then by rounding out your weekend here, again, still not seeing much here in our area. So again, the theme, dry, eventually breezy and hot. Warm/hot is your forecast here over the next week. Now, I mentioned middle of next week. Here it is. This is the latest European model by Wednesday of next week. That's a week out, May 14th. Things start to turn more active finally. Western South Dakota in particular here on Wednesday, getting in on this rain/thunderstorm mix here, and then into northeastern South Dakota, into North Dakota there, and then eventually into Minnesota, western South Dakota on the back side of this low there on Wednesday, and then eventually into Minnesota there. So that looks to be our next real shot at any kind of moisture over the next week is going to be, again, western South Dakota, northeastern South Dakota, and then into Minnesota. Maybe some activity in Nebraska. Really just throughout our whole region. It's just going to be scattered in nature. Could be a little more widespread though. Something to keep an eye on for sure. And then after that, we'll see what happens. I think current trends are suggesting that middle to late May will be more active, will be a more active pattern for our area. So that is the latest there. All right, closing out this video with our 10-day forecast here for the Sioux Falls area. Again, low 80s today and tomorrow, and then overnight lows in the 40s and 50s across this forecast, and upper 80s to low 90s the rest of our forecast here. And we'll be turning, again, windy, as I mentioned before, by Sunday, Monday time frame. And again, Wednesday of next week is that time to watch for that upcoming moisture chance. Really, that's our only shot at some real moisture over the next 10 days. For the Aberdeen area, similar story here. 80s tomorrow, 80s on Friday, low 90s by your weekend, and then turning windy, and overnight lows in the 50s and 60s. And again, watching next Wednesday for that chance of rain/thunderstorms. For the Pierre area, similar story here. 80s tomorrow, 80s on Friday, and then 90s for your weekend. Windy on Sunday and Monday. Overnight lows in the 50s and 60s, and then by next week, again, middle of next week, looking at that system there, thunderstorms. And then, it's kind of similar for Rapid City. 70s over the next couple days, a little cooler. upper 80s to low 90s for your weekend, pretty warm there, and 86 on Monday, and then after that cooling back down into the 60s and 70s, overnight lows in the 50s and 60s for Rapid City. So that is the latest here from T-Storm Chasers. Again, continue to follow us on our socials, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Be sure to follow us for all the latest information, weather information, and more. And check out all of our posts that we post on social media, and stay safe out there, and have a good night, guys.